What's up guys, Fair Moon Circus here. In this video I'm going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be reviewing broccoli cloth playmat. Now I'm making this primarily because, me personally, I'm a big fan of cloth playmats like Spellgrounds, Metamats, Gem playmats, etc. The best thing about them, I feel, is they have a more premium like fabric feel to it as opposed to normal rubber playmats, and they have a couple of other unique advantages too. Like because of the texture of them, one of the best things you can do with the cloth playmat is you can just slide your cards. Like, so if you need to check something in your waiting room or your graveyard, you can just slide it open very quickly to give it a look, and it feels nice when you can see the mat like moving a little bit here. I'll go into that a bit later. But like when you turn a card sideways on a cloth mat, or if you like draw a card normally, it feels pretty nice. You can see. Okay, well, I guess I'll get the biggest drawback for this particular mat out of the way right now, since you guys are seeing it, or since the camera's picking up on it so much. You can tell right off the bat, this mat is pretty thin. Normally, if you've used Spellgrounds or Metamat, like any of the other cloth mats, then sliding isn't that big of an issue unless you're using the one-player version. But if you're using a two-player mat like Spellground or something, then I think what actually happens is, because if you're using it as a one-player mat, you actually just fold the other side under that one-player mat, and then that actually gives the mat a little more heft or a little more weight, so it doesn't slide around as much. And if you're using it as a two-player mat, then it's kind of offset by its mass, because your opponent has their cards on that side holding down the mat as well, etc. So I think that's the primary drawback with this. The other thing is that because the material here, I guess it's not really picking up on camera, but this material is noticeably thinner than other cloth mats. And one of the other side effects of that is that you can kind of see the creases in it where the mat was folded in the packaging. With that said, this is almost like a microfiber towel kind of material. So I think it should be if you really are bothered by the creases, you can probably get an iron and set it to a low setting and just iron it out. But yeah, those are the primary drawbacks. But the thing that is nice about these mats, so with the broccoli mat, I can tell you, this microfiber material feels nicer than a Spellgrounds. I feel like Spellgrounds are a little coarser in their material. This one feels almost kind of silky, actually. So that's one thing that's really nice about it. The other thing that's nice about it, and this is kind of an upside and a downside to it being so thin, is it's very well. Actually, before I go into that, there's a more general thing that's nice that I personally like about cloth mats, and that's that you can, unlike a rubber mat where you need to carry it around in a tube and everything, with this one you can actually just pick it up once you're done, and you're not really stressed about damaging it or whatever. I think that goes double true for this because it has stitched edges. This is something that some people don't like and others really like. I personally like stitched edges. Oh, anyway, with that in mind, this mat also has some unique advantages because it's so thin. One of the things that's nice is that you can actually just fold up the mat, once you're done playing, or if you're just trying to go to locals or whatever, you can just fold up the mat pretty quickly, and because it's so small, you can actually just shove it into a storage box like so. You can and throw a deck box in with it, and there you go. Like this storage box could be all you need to take to locals. Like there's even plenty of room. If you want to make room for a second deck box, you can do that, or you can just throw in another like a box for dice. So that's one big advantage to it. The other thing is like if you want to go really compact, you can even just grab like a double deck box or something, and take a look at this. You can put your deck box, you can put your dice tray in there, and like okay, so one of the things that's nice is like because the material is so thin and soft, you can actually just like not worry about damaging it, just like shoving it in like this. Like obviously you don't want to handle it too rough, but the fact that you can just shove your mat in here like this without really any issue. Like if you want to just fold it up. Whoa, okay. This is something I didn't notice before, but like if you have a box with Velcro, then this material might just get caught in there. You obviously don't want that, so that's a drawback to just using a cloth mat in general. But one of the things that's nice is that you can actually just fold it up like a little more and shove into a deck box like this, and bam! Like now you're carrying a dice, and your mat all in this like one tiny box. So like in terms of like ease of travel or just like ease of packing, I guess like that's a huge plus. For me personally, like I was trying to find some kind of like easy packing solution for that, so I don't like need to bring like an entire heavy backpack to locals or something. Like I can just bring this, or I could bring like a lighter backpack, what have you. And then the other thing that's nice, and this is a very specific solution, but I think this is something that might come in handy for some people. So this is a gigantic dungeon. It's a gigantic storage box. You can use this to hold somewhere between 12 and 14 decks. So if I'm going to a friend's house, I might like just bring one of these with a bunch of decks in it. And the advantage to this, normally if you have a rubber mat, right, what you can do is you can take one, you can like put it inside like one of these columns, and but then now you're not holding 12 to 14 decks, or you can carry the mat in its own separate tube, and then suddenly like it starts to get to a point where you're carrying too much stuff. Like this box is already pretty big, the mat tube is pretty big. The thing that's nice about this mat, you can actually just fold up the mat as it came in the packaging, like this, and you can actually just lay it on top of the gigantic dungeon. Specifically this one. I think if you have similar products from like Ultimate Guard or Dex Protection or something, they don't actually give you that much extra room, so you can't actually put anything on top of your boxes. But with the gigantic dungeon, you actually can just lay your mat on top of 12 to 14 deck boxes, and you can close the box very easily. Like you can see, there isn't really a seam here or anything, so it's not protruding. So yeah, overall I think this mat has some very big pros and some pretty big cons. Like it's made of really quality material. Like it feels really nice to touch. It's very easy to pack and carry around. And then the drawbacks are that the cards the drawbacks is that the mat is so thin that you can it can move around a bit while you're playing, and you can kind of see where the mat is folded. So overall, I give this probably like a 7.5 out of 10. You can you might like it more or less depending on how much you like its positives or whether you can overlook its negatives. For me personally, like I like having a mat, like I said, that I can easily like carry around with me, that I can easily just pick up like this and not worry about damaging it. So yeah, overall I'm a pretty big fan of this mat. And that's it. See ya.